The bloody tower, the warder's voice droned. It was late afternoon, with deep purple shadows beginning to gather under the surrounding high stone walls, and to judge by the man's tone, he had already delivered this same speech innumerable times today. Site of one of the most heinous crimes in the Tower of London's long and often bloody history. 2 young boys, the only sons of Edward IV, King of England, were placed here by their protector, Richard, Duke of Gloucester. The elder of the boys was to be crowned king, however. Richard took the throne for himself and the boys disappeared. In 1674, workmen here dug up a wooden box containing 2 small human skeletons. It is widely supposed that they belonged to the 2 young princes foully murdered by their uncle. However, the question remains, Sherlock Holmes murmured beside me, whether the old and trite adage about history repeating itself will be proved accurate in this case. Holmes's attention, like mine, was fixed on a stout, nervous-looking man on the opposite side of the Tower Green, the large central courtyard around which the stone fortress of the Tower of London ranged. I wasn't surprised, though, that he had been listening with half an ear to the yeoman warder, otherwise known as a beefeater, lecture the group of visitors who stood behind us. Knowing Holmes, he could, no doubt, if questioned, identify the beefeater's height, weight, eye color, and medical history. The day was chilly, with a keen wind blowing off the stretch of the Thames that swept by just below the tower. "Is that what you think?" I asked. I wasn't willing to risk taking my eyes off the man we were watching. This was Monday, one of the days when admittance to the tower was open to the public for free, without the usual 1 shilling fee, and it felt as though half of London had decided to take advantage. Crowds of people of all ages, from uniformed schoolboys to white-haired women in bonnets and shawls, thronged the green. "You believe that the boy is dead?" "I believe that nothing about this case thus far is remotely clear." Holmes's answer was an ill-tempered growl, for which I could hardly blame him. We had been standing here for the better part of an hour, and the enforced waiting was beginning to get on my nerves as well. "But I will say this," Holmes went on. "I dislike exceedingly the method by which—" He broke off with a suppressed exclamation, and a moment later I saw what had captured his attention. Across the green, a raggedly dressed boy was approaching the man we were watching. Small and thin, he looked not unlike the street urchins Holmes employed as irregulars, and also not unlike the pickpockets that circulated amongst the crowds. Already in the last hour I had seen 6 people adroitly relieved of handkerchiefs, purses, and pocket watches. This boy, though, moved with a purposeful stride that was quite unlike either the darting run or the overly casual saunter of a pickpocket's usual approach. With a look of fixed determination, he bore down on the stout man, also known as Sir Humphrey Rawlings, our client. Holmes was wearing a threadbare tweed suit and overcoat. His hair, for this occasion, was white, and a straggling white beard framed his mouth. His back was stooped, his shoulders rounded, and his usually keen grey eyes now blinked at the world from behind thick spectacles. The overall effect being that of a history scholar, visiting the tower to research some pet theory. He also held a sheaf of pamphlets, behind which he could conveniently disappear. He had the papers raised and was making a convincing show of reading them now, but his muscles tensed as we both watched the urchin approach Sir Humphrey. The boy tugged on Sir Humphrey's coat sleeve and spoke. Sir Humphrey snapped irritably and tried to shake him off. The boy, undaunted, kept a firm grip on Sir Humphrey's sleeve and started to say something more. Sir Humphrey's face darkened, and he seized hold of the urchin's collar before the boy could finish speaking. My part in this was to watch Sir Humphrey and whoever approached him. Holmes was watching the rest of the crowd to see whether anyone besides us, was interested in observing Sir Humphrey and the exchanges he made with other Tower of London visitors.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.